Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, hey, let's get it. All right, all right. All right, for your listening pleasure. And I know that the people on Facebook and YouTube could not hear, as always. But look, thank you for joining me. That is 702 with Stilo for your listening pleasure. Welcome, welcome, welcome tonight. Look, I am your humble host, Coach Ken Canyon, aka the professor, aka the doctor. I often tell people I am not a doctor because I have a PhD or an MD. I am a doctor because people come to me in pain and I get them out of pain. So, yes, I am the doctor. And tonight we're going to continue. Ooh-wee. We're going to continue from last night. A lot of you joined my class that I'm doing for 8 weeks. It's $10 a class. A lot of you joined, and we're going to talk about more about that. But I've got a question before I ask you where you're checking in from. I've got a question for everybody because tonight gonna change your life. Tonight gonna change your life for real, for real. Hey, Kiva, hey, good to see you. Let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever wanted to connect deeper with somebody? Whether you're dating, you wanted to go deeper, or you're in a relationship, or you're married, but you don't know how to, and you say things like, the other person, warrior woman, aka the mystery lady is here. I love it. But you don't know how, and you say that the other person does not communicate, but you don't know how to get deeper, and you don't know how to get below the surface. And I explained last night about how the brain works, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And I explained it last night. And tonight, we're going to build on it. And I'm going to teach y'all how to get deeper. Now, the rest of the week, that's what we're going to be talking about because I have a 8-week masterclass that is starting. And it is going to really change your life. And I'm serious, y'all. You know how people say it's going to change your life, and they don't really know if it's going to change your life. But I really know because I know this. If you could communicate better by doing one thing different, just one thing, and that would be the quality of your questions, the quality of how you ask them, and the quality of the question itself would literally change your relationship. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that tonight. But before we talk about that, I'd like to know your name and where you're checking in from so I can properly welcome you because you could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me tonight. So if you would, give me your name and where you're checking in from, and so I can properly not pat the trail. Kelly, I know, I feel you. That's where I grew up, y'all. Elementary school and high school. Elementary school around the corner, Hello Kimberly, high school, Thera High School, Panther Trail, baby, in the building. All right, Natalie from Charlotte in the building. All right, we got, what's that? 3 from New York City in the building. We got, what is that? MN from Wisconsin, I think that is. All right, who else we got in the building? Oh, thank you, Sarah. I love you too. I appreciate you. We got Cherie from Memphis in the building. Christy from Massachusetts in the building. Anne Marie from Canada in the building. Welcome for being from Canada, our neighbors. We love them. All right. We got Kay from Cali in the building. All right, y'all. Who else we got? Emily from California in the building. Yes, yes, yes. We got Debbie from New York. New y'all in the building. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate y'all. Some of you, we got Anna from Texas in the building. Some of you cannot see, but I got all my platforms up. Y'all, if you were to come into my studio, you would be like, it's just rigged up pretty nice. I got it rigged up pretty nice here. So if it looks like that I'm not really looking at you, it's because I got everybody right here and I'm looking at everyone at the same time while I teach. I've been doing this for about a year or so like this, and it's working for me. Now look, so tonight, I'm going to talk about how many of you, all right, just put a 1 in the chat. How many of you say either one or two things? Either if you're dating, you would love to be able to vet people very quickly so you wouldn't waste your time. That's the first question. If that is you, I would love for you, if you're dating, if you're wanting to meet someone, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if that's you. If you would want to, if I could show you a way that you didn't have to waste your time, if I could show you a way that you wouldn't have to pick the same person over and over again, if I could show you a way where you would know a person's intentions, you'd probably be like, Coach, if that were the case, shoot. If you would, now, if that's anybody in here, so I got some ones. Now, let's say, let me say the second question. Let's say you're in a relationship. Maybe you're dating or in a relationship. Maybe you married. Sheree put like a million ones. Like, I think it's Sheree. But you want to connect deeper with the person you're with. You want to figure out the person you're with, and you want to get deeper, but you don't know how to connect on a deeper level because maybe they don't talk how you would want to. If that's you, put a 2 in the comments. Put a 2 in the comments, okay? If that is you, you want to connect deeper, you feel like the person may not communicate, but you don't know how. You don't know how to connect on a deeper level with the person. If that is you, put a 2. So I see the 2s, I see the 1s. All right. And so tonight, I'm going to continue on what I talked about yesterday. And so I'm going to give you a testimonial in a minute, but I want to tell you my best-selling book. I've written 10 books, y'all. I've written 10 books. Well, my best-selling book, I would probably say, is my first book, my best-selling book, because I've sold thousands upon thousands of those. But my second best-selling book is an ebook that I wrote called Just Ask How the Right Questions Can Reveal the Right Partner. Just ask how the right questions can reveal the right partner. I wrote this book 3 or 4 years ago. And the reason I wrote the book, the first subtitle of the book was Just Ask 50 Questions to know if he's the one. Okay. And so that was the first title. And I put in the book, there were 50 questions. You didn't have to ask them all, but there were 50 questions that could help you get to know a person. Now, it was 4 years ago when I wrote it, but since the 4 years, I've refined my process. You don't have to ask 50 questions, but I've created a process by which you can get to know somebody. So allow me to give you some background on how I arrived here. On my bookshelf up here above me, there is a book on that shelf called The 7 Powers of Questions by a woman named Dorothy Leeds. On that shelf up there, there is a book called The 7 Powers of Questions. I read this book 20 years ago, okay? My father gave me the book because I was in sales. And he said, son, this book is going to change your life. Now, at the time, I thought the book was too thick. At the time, I didn't want to read the book, but I started reading it anyway because I was traveling. And what I learned in that book literally changed my life. And so what I have done, I've taken what I've learned in that book and I've refined it. And I wrote my book. And what I've done is I've used the principles to help people to connect in relationships. To help people connect in relationships. And because of this book, this is why y'all should listen. Because of this book, it has put together, I don't know how many relationships. It has helped, I don't know how many relationships. It has helped so many relationships restore. Let me tell you why. Because 98% of people who are in relationships today are poor communicators. Most of you who are listening to me now are poor communicators. And you might say, not me, coach. Nope, not me. I'm a great communicator. And I'll tell you, okay, you say you're a great communicator. So allow me to ask you a question. So here's the question. Have you ever not said something to someone that you wanted to say because number one, you didn't know how to say it, or number two, you didn't know how they were going to react, so you did not say it? Well, most people say, yeah, coach, that's me. You don't have to tell me, y'all don't have to tell me, I already know the answer. Then you are a poor communicator. And so what people think is because they're willing to say it. They're willing to say what's on their mind. They're willing to just tell the person, I'm just a straightforward person. I'm going to just tell them what's on my mind. Then you think that you're a good communicator. But the truth is, you're not. And so part of communication, the reason why I wrote the Just Ask book is because most of us don't know how to get deeper. Most of us don't know how to find out who the person truly is. So let me get started. Last night, if you didn't hear this last night, I want you to go back to YouTube or go back to Instagram. I saved the video. I talked about how the subconscious mind works and the conscious mind works. I talked about that. And I talked about last night how when you're getting to know somebody, when you're attempting to know somebody, when you're dating someone, you attempt to get to know this person or from a conscious level, meaning you ask questions like this. Hey, where'd you go to school? Where do you work? How many kids do you have? What's your favorite team? You ask conscious questions. And I went on to explain last night that conscious questions are, of course, simply, and I didn't go into the details, I didn't go into the psychology of it because it's too deep that I don't want to do on this live. But when you come to my class, if you join my class, that I'm going to teach this book for 8 weeks, I won't say never, but you will not make any more mistakes picking the wrong people and dating. You will not have a relationship with no connection. You will not be in a relationship with somebody who's emotionally unavailable, because you're going to know how to peel back the layers without interrogating them. And so when I talked about conscious mind and subconscious mind, and I begin telling you that your subconscious mind is like a computer. It is like a file cabinet. Think of it like a filing cabinet that houses all of your memories, all of your trauma, all of your thoughts, all of your belief systems, everything that you've ever done. It houses it and it remembers. And so that's where your true person lies, in your subconscious mind. So when you are dating someone, when you are in a relationship with someone, if you are not tapping in to their subconscious mind, you will never get to know who the person truly is, ever. That is the reason why you might date somebody and then 6 months later, you like, this ain't the person I started dating, because you never went beneath the surface. You only asked conscious questions. You only dealt with the conscious mind. Because when the person called you and you saw their name come up, you were like, woo, you got all excited. And then what happens is you rely on your emotion. Okay. All right. The body is the subconscious. Our living experience creates our being. Not exactly. The body is not the subconscious. Now, the subconscious controls the body, but can control, the subconscious controls the body. That's why you breathe. That's why you breathe effortlessly and you don't have to think about breathing. That's why your brain controls all your nervous system, your cardiovascular system, your respiratory system, your musculoskeletal system without anything, because your subconscious controls it, but it is not your subconscious. And so what I want to tell y'all tonight is you might say, well, Coach, what does this have to do with communication? I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to make it short. And for those of you who want to learn this, if you want to learn and you want to start connecting in a different way, if you want to learn, then I want you to join my class that's coming up. I'm doing it for 8 weeks. All right. All right. Yeah, but the autonomic nervous system is controlled. I'm not getting into that. I get what you're saying, but listen, I ain't getting into that because that throw me off. But look, let me say this to y'all. For those of you who want to learn how to stop dating the wrong people, for those of you who want to connect deep in your relationship, for those of you who want to know if the person that I'm with, are they the one? Then what I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an example of something tonight. I'm going to show you how to start asking questions from your subconscious, asking subconscious questions. The reason I'm going through this, y'all, is most people do it incorrectly. And then you get in a relationship with somebody and you say, what's up, Dimple? Yeah, I'm like you. I got the red on tonight. And what you say is the relationship did not work. You say the person was not emotionally available. But what it is you never got below the surface. Allow me to explain. And in this class, I'm going to teach you what subconscious communication is. Subconscious communication is when I no longer communicate with your conscious mind. I'm communicating with your subconscious mind, the place where your true person is, your belief system. It's where your deepest thoughts are. It is where the person resides. The person resides who believes what they believe about marriage. It is where the person resides who believes what they believe about monogamous relationships. So now a person can't lie to you, because the way that I'm going to teach you to ask them. Allow me to give you an example. Allow me to give you an example. Yes, Jamia, you need that class. And it's only $10, y'all. It's $10 for the class. I'm going to show you how to get it in a second. I'm going to teach it on Sunday nights at 8:30 for 8 hours, for 1 hour, I'm sorry, 1 hour for the next 8 weeks. It's $10 per class. You don't have to take every class, but it's $10 per class. But let me prove it to you right here, though. So I had a client. Who was dating someone. And the client did not know how to get deeper. The client was like, I think the person is right for me, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And I said, allow me to teach you. I said, what is it that you want to know? And when what she said was, I want to know how they view family, what kind of relationship they had with their mother, how they view finances. And so watch what I did. So I broke each value system up into its own spot. So I said, I want you to pick me 5 values that you have. The one might be finances. One might be family. One might be communication, whatever it is, okay? And I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create 3 subconscious questions based on every value you have. And then she said, okay, we'll do that. But how do I do that, coach? I said, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you. And then I said, then she asked a really profound question. She said, what if they answer the question and that's it? I said, au contraire, mon frère. No, they cannot ask just one question because I'm going to show you how to take the one question and go deep into 10 different questions. You'll see. So let me show you how I did it. So I said, I asked this question last night. I'm going to show you what I did. So one of the things she wanted to know was about the person's mother. And then what I said was, ask this question. We created 3 subconscious questions. One of them was, tell me the one thing that you learned from your mother that helped you become the man you are today. Okay. And I told y'all last night, he said that I learned that a woman should never wait on a man, Okay. Now she didn't know what to do with that. Then I said, I taught her how to go deeper 6 different ways. See, watch this. Using 6 words. Here are the words that we learned in elementary school. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. 6 words. I said, this is how we're going to go deeper. He said to her, well, I think a man shouldn't wait on a woman. And then we're going to use one of the words. Okay. And then I said, ask him, why is that important for a woman not to wait on a man? Why is that important? Notice what I just did. Now he's going to go deeper. So it's important because he said, it was important because I watched my mom wait on my father. And he never did her good. He never did right by her. And then I said, ask another one. How did that affect you? Who, what, when, where, how? How did that affect you? How did that affect the man you are today? And he started breaking down and he said, you know, the more I think about it, he said, I believe that I have a block because I don't want to be that man. And then notice what I'm doing. Every question I asked is about the value system I have. When it was all said and done, she understood what he believed about women and family. They ended up getting together and get married. But she would not have known. She would not have known had she not taken my class and gone deeper and learned how to ask subconscious questions. Yo, most of y'all ain't gonna find the right person because you don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to communicate. For those of you who are listening to me on the sound of my voice, I'm going to teach y'all how to do this. If you're in a relationship, I'm going to teach you how to go deeper in that relationship, how to connect better. Because there are questions that I'm going to teach you how to ask your spouse or your partner Not interrogation. I'm not going to teach you how to interrogate. I'm not going to teach you how to interview people. See, that's the problem. The problem is that the other person thinks you're interviewing them. They think you're interrogating them. Do you know the difference between interrogation and communication? Most of you don't. Interrogation and communication is the only difference is the perception the other person has. See, what the way that I'm going to teach you to ask them, the other person is going to think it's conversation. They're not going to think it's interrogation. The other person is going to think you're interesting, not an interviewer. And so many of you, for those of you who want to learn, here's what I want to do. I've got a class coming up called Just Ask, 8 weeks. It's a master class. How the right questions can reveal the right partner. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you're dating, whether you're going to learn questions, whether it's friends and family, on the workplace. You're going to learn how to question your boss in a way that does not seem disrespectful. Your boss is going to think, wow, you know how to communicate. Yeah. For those of you who want to come, we're starting this Sunday. Here's what I want you to do. It's only $10. It's $10 a week. It's $10 a week. You don't even have to buy the book. You can buy the book. You buy it as a bonus, but you don't have to buy the book if you don't want to. But for those of you who want to say, I'm willing to invest $10 in myself, I want you, if you're on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, I want you to go to my bio and I want you to click on my link tree. And when you click on my link tree, you will see it says Just Ask Masterclass. It's $10. If you can't invest $10 in yourself, then you don't want to have a good relationship. I'm not talking about, and relationships are not just romantic, y'all. Relationships are not just with a romantic partner. Relationships are friends and family. Relationships are workplace relationships. Relationships are dating. And you don't know how to communicate. And the cornerstone of communication is the ability to ask subconscious questions. No, nobody's ever taught you this. I know. Nobody's ever taught you this, and some of y'all ain't gonna want to learn it. I get it. You're not. I get it. Some people don't want to learn. Some people don't care to learn. Then if that's not you, then cool, keep doing what you're doing. If it's working for you, stay where you are. But for those of you who want to learn, I want you to go to my bio, click on my link tree, and I want you to sign up for the Just Ask How the Right Questions can reveal the right partner. And so some of you are going to learn how to ask questions, and the other person, it's going to teach you not to make statements so much. Many of you are perceived to be masculine, have masculine energy. Listen to me carefully. Many of you have been perceived to have masculine energy because you're always making statements. Wow. You're always making statements. I'm going to tell you in the class, I'm going to teach you something. Why Oprah is a billionaire. And what does Oprah do? All she does is ask questions. You're going to learn the power, how you can control the conversation, by merely asking the questions. This is going to be powerful, y'all. For those of you, Sunshine of Beauty says you have a lot of gold nuggets. $10 is worth the class. I already know. Thank you. I appreciate it. For those of you, $10. It's $10 a week. And if you can't, and look, if you need to join the class with the $10. If you having problems with dating, just for that alone. If you think your husband or your boyfriend is unavailable, you need to join. If you've been having conflict and y'all can't get along, you need to join. If you don't know where to turn, if you feel stuck, if you don't know what to do, then you need to join. It's $10. It's called Just Ask how the right questions can reveal the right partner. It's gonna literally change how you view communication for real. Go to my link tree, and it starts this Sunday. It's gonna be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we're gonna go for 1 hour. But you gotta come buckled up. You gotta come with your notes. You gotta come ready to go. You gotta come ready to go. Yesterday we had about 8, 9 people to join. Today, listen, $10. Go to my link tree, click my bio, click my bio. The first thing you see is the Just Ask Masterclass. If you are not sure, and also you get a deal if you buy the book. If you want to buy the book and start reading it prior to, then yeah, I think that would be good. My link tree, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to send you, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to give you the link. Let me see if I can do it on YouTube. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's see here. All right. Let's see on YouTube. I'm gonna give you the link on YouTube. Hold on, let me find it myself. I gotta get the link myself. Oh, okay, so hold on. Oh, boom. Here it is. So if you're on YouTube, I'm putting the link right here. If you're on YouTube, all right, here's the link, Sunshine and Beauty. Everybody else, go to my link tree and get it. And you'll see it, if you have any questions, if you're not sure, I want you to email me at coachkencanion@gmail.com. coachkencanion@gmail.com. If you're not sure, you have a question or something, email me there, and I'll answer the question. But for those of you who are ready to change, you ready to get a different result, then grab the book. All right, I mean, not the book, get in the class. All right, y'all, that's my time. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. All right, peace.